Are you scared you'll end up regretting the biggest purchase of your life? I get it. Buying a home anywhere can be scary, but especially here in Chesapeake where homes are flying off the market in just 20 days on average. If you blink, you might miss your dream home. But don't worry, today I've got your back with the ultimate buying guide so you never lose sleep over what ifs. Let's dive in. What's going on? I'm Jason Edwards with eXp Realty. I help people buy, sell, invest, and relocate to this incredible part of the state every single week. If at any point you think, yeah, I need help, my contact information is below. Call, text, or email me. Chesapeake is one of Virginia's largest cities in terms of land area, offering everything from bustling suburban pockets to peaceful rural stretches. That means you can likely find a neighborhood that's perfect for you. Whether you crave the convenience of shopping centers like we have in Greenbrier, or preferred wide open spaces near the Intracoastal Waterway for kayaking and fishing. The schools here often rank high on sites like greatschools.org and niche.com, so families with kids can feel confident. Add the short commute to major military bases like Naval Station Norfolk, and it's no surprise so many active duty and veteran home buyers are flocking here. By the way, I'd like to know, what's the single most important feature you're looking for in a new home? A garage, an updated kitchen, maybe a pool, or a home office? Drop a comment below and let me know. Chesapeake isn't just some random city. It's a community that truly embraces our service members. You've got VA-friendly resources and quick drives to multiple bases. If you're on active duty or you're a veteran, the convenience factor here is huge. It's super centrally located right in the middle of Hampton roads. Plus, the VA loan is a game changer. Zero down payment, no PMI or private mortgage insurance, and competitive interest rates. What's not to love? I've used mine more than once. I've run across people that didn't know you could use your VA loan benefit more than once. Combine that with the broad range of home styles here, from modern suburban developments to historic properties in established neighborhoods, and Chesapeake quickly shoots to the top of many must-consider lists. Now, let's talk numbers for my fact-based viewers who just want the data, no fluff. As of February 2025, the median home price is right around $375,000. The median days on market sits at about 20 days. That means well-priced, well-maintained homes can go under contract pretty fast, sometimes within the first week. In other words, if you see a property that ticks most of your boxes, you've got to be ready to get after it. Right now, it's a pretty competitive environment, but there are still deals to be found, particularly if you keep an eye out during the slower seasons or if you're open to homes that might need a little TLC. The next thing, before you start to shop for a home, get your financial ducks in a row. Get a pre-approval. Particularly for VA loans, lenders will need your pay stubs, W-2s, and your LES, and other documents. Getting pre-approved not only clarifies your limit, but also shows sellers that you're the real deal. My recommendation though, don't budget off of what your pre-approval is. Make sure you do a budget and know what you're willing to spend a month on a home. And then backtrack and figure out what price you want to shop in. No one wants to be house broke. If you need a free budget template to figure out what you're able to spend per month, shoot me an email and I can send it right over. Speaking of budgeting, don't forget about closing costs. You still have them with the VA loan. And possibly homeowner association fees if you pick a neighborhood with extra amenities in an HOA. Some HOAs in Chesapeake can run around $50 to $200 a month, sometimes even more. Just be sure to factor that into your monthly expenses. You also need to consider property taxes and homeowners insurance, and in some cases, flood insurance. I did a whole video on hidden expenses to be aware of when buying a home in the Hampton Roads area. You can check that out right here. Know what your credit score is. Even though VA loans are flexible, a better credit score usually means a better interest rate. If your score needs a little boost, tackle that first. It can save you thousands over the life of your loan. Whether that's paying off a debt or disputing it with the credit bureau, get them taken care of. And remember, if all this is starting to make your head spin, I help people just like you navigate these details every single day. My contact information is down below. Shoot me a text or give me a call and we can figure this out together. So where exactly do you start looking in Chesapeake? It's all about location and lifestyle. We've got Greenbrier, which is a hotspot for shopping, dining, quick commutes to Norfolk or Virginia Beach. Then there's Great Bridge. It's perfect if you want a mix of historical charm and modern conveniences. There's also Western Branch, maybe a little bit quieter, closer to Suffolk and Portsmouth for a different commute path. I actually have a separate video called The 5 Best Neighborhoods in Chesapeake if you want a deeper dive. Check it out here. For now, think about your commute, your family's needs, and how much yard you want to maintain. Don't forget, Chesapeake has its share of larger lots if you are looking for some elbow room. Alright, let's break it down step by step. First step, you want to find a realtor. Hopefully one who knows VA loans inside out, not only from helping many people use theirs, but also used his own a couple of times. Next, we'll get your mortgage pre-approval. We talked about this a minute ago, but it's super important. Then we start house hunting. You can tour homes in person or even virtually if you're out of state or deployed. I've helped numerous families with a long-distance home search. I'm going to tell you everything I see, hear, and smell. My goal is to give you an absolutely amazing experience in the hopes that you'll tell your family and friends, because word of mouth is definitely the best advertising. Once we find the right one, we'll make an offer. This includes not only the purchase price, but the closing date and items to convey. Also, contingencies for financing, inspection, and appraisal. As I like to say, everything is negotiable. Speaking of negotiation, that's the next step. Negotiate and execute the contract. Once accepted, we're on the way to closing. This is your chance to really dig into the crawl space, the attic, and every little nook and cranny to find any hidden issues that might be present. The appraisal is to confirm the property meets VA standards and determine the market value of the home so that you're not overpaying. Once we move through all that, negotiate repairs, and get through the appraisal and the termite and moisture inspection, we'll move on to the final walkthrough and closing. Throughout the whole process, you'll be filling out lots of documentation, sending lots of documents to your lender, but the final walkthrough is the last time we'll go through the home before closing, ensuring all negotiated repairs are complete and the home is in the same condition as when we first saw it. Then it's time to sign the papers and get your keys. And I give you a high five and say congratulations. Don't worry, I'll be right there the entire way. No question is too small, too silly. I've heard them all before, and I know it's a confusing process. Next, let's talk a little bit about negotiation. It can be a roller coaster, especially for the more emotional folks who feel the highs and lows. But trust me, data can back you up here. Sellers typically expect strong offers when the market is hot. Inspections. If big issues pop up, we can ask for repairs, we can ask for a credit towards those repairs, or even a price reduction. But don't let cosmetic stuff scare you away. Typically, you're going to be asking for the seller to repair deal breakers or safety issues, things like that. Some offer strategies that I've used in multiple offer situations, you can use an escalation clause, which basically will put your offer a certain amount over the next highest offer up to a certain amount. You can make your home inspection for informational purposes only, meaning you won't ask for repairs, or you can even waive certain contingencies, but you need to be super careful with that. Waiving a home inspection is an option, but I never recommend it. Doing one for informational purposes is one thing, but waiving it can leave you vulnerable to buying a lemon and getting into a really bad situation. You don't want to overpay, but if you love the place and the comps support the price, going a little bit higher might get you that dream home. It's all about balancing your must-haves with what the seller expects, and needs, for that matter. Alright, here's a few VA loan pitfalls and how to avoid them. Appraisals. If a VA appraiser flags certain repairs, like missing handrails or peeling paint, those need fixing before closing. In Virginia, typically there's a clause in the purchase agreement that requires the seller to pay up to 1% of the purchase price to fix any discrepancies that come from either the appraisal or the termite and moisture inspection. That can be changed, but for the most part, it's fairly standard. Anything above that 1% cap is negotiable. Many VA loan users pay a funding fee, though if you have a service-related disability rating of 10% or higher, you are exempt. But that is a good few $1,000s payable at closing, added to your other closing costs. The good news? Most pitfalls are totally avoidable if you work with a lender and an agent who are familiar with the VA process. Think of your home inspection as kind of like a safety net. The inspector checks the home's major systems like the roof, plumbing, electrical, HVAC, and identifies red flags. A VA appraisal is more about ensuring the property meets minimum standards and is worth the price you're paying. They're typically looking at things like safety, security, and structure. If something major turns up, you can renegotiate or walk away within the contract timelines, the contingency timeline. Don't be afraid to hold firm if the home has a huge repair that the seller isn't willing to fix. At the end of the day, you want a safe, structurally sound home that passes VA guidelines and meets your expectations. Closing day can be both exciting and probably a little nerve-wracking. I know it was for me. Some typical costs are title fees, recording fees, prorated taxes, maybe some HOA dues. The final walkthrough is your last chance to make sure the home is in the condition you agreed on and that all repairs were made. Once everything is signed, house is yours. If you're relocating from out of state, plan your move carefully. Military families might coordinate personal goods moves through on-base resources, while civilians can shop around for local movers or do it yourself. Just be sure to get your utilities, water, electric, internet, etc. set up a few days in advance to become active on closing day to avoid any hiccups. But don't worry, I'll definitely remind you. Of course, I've got some resources for you. I've got tons of free help, including my home buyer's guide, which you can find linked in the description below. That guide covers everything from mortgage terms to local lenders to inspection checklists. Looking for a specific neighborhood deep dive? As I mentioned earlier, check out my 5 best Chesapeake neighborhoods video. Perfect if you're still not exactly sure where to land. I've got pros and cons videos of several of the 7 cities in Hampton Roads. And hey, if you just need to talk through your situation, maybe your lease is up soon, or you're trying to use your VA benefits in the smartest way possible, I'm here to help. I get calls from people just like you every single week, and I love helping folks find a home that they love. So seriously, if you're ready or just thinking about it, call or text me. My number is in the description below, along with other ways to connect. You're now miles ahead of most people just starting out on their home buying journey. So if you found this video helpful, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want more insider tips about living, working, and thriving in Hampton Roads, definitely subscribe. I post new videos every single week. Thanks for hanging out. Don't forget, if you're serious about buying, selling, investing, or relocating, my number is in the description below. Call or text anytime. You can also check out more videos and resources linked in the description. I hope this has given you the confidence to take the next step toward your dream home in Chesapeake or anywhere in Hampton Roads. I'll talk to you soon.